All of us here are just one Amazon click away from buying orange cones and making traffic go wherever we want. You know what else is not stealing? Putting an extra bike lock on a stranger's bike. It's insane that bike locks are legal, that they're just available to the public. You have any idea the amount of power that you wield with your imagination in a bike lock? There's so many things. Like, you could just walk past a Baskin Robbins and be like, "You're closed." It is so arbitrary what we need permission to buy and what we don't. You have to show photo ID in a hobby shop to buy paint. Yet all of us here are just one Amazon click away from buying orange cones and making traffic go wherever we want. I don't like buying milk, right? They don't sell any other product that way. You grab a bag of marshmallows off the shelf, all the other marshmallows don't come at you. Milk, the heaviest item in the store, they sell on a ramp that's aimed at your face. I pull 1 gallon off, 7 others slam forward. It's 2%, you wanted non-fat, but now you can't put it back. I discovered, though, you push those other milks hard enough, they disappear. I started jogging. Mentioned that to a friend of mine who does it a lot, and he was like, "Oh, you need to shave your legs so you go faster." This guy has a beard. But I was like, no, I don't need to I'm fine with my resistance workout. But he was persistent. He was like, "No, man, listen, I'd been riding my bike to work for years, and I started shaving my legs every day, cut 2 minutes off the commute." It's like, "But how long does it take you to shave?" You can shave your legs faster if your arms are shaved. Read this article online that had all these amazing facts about the human body, and one of them said that the average human being's skin, our skin is so sensitive, we can feel the weight of a bee's wing. That's 1/10,000th of an ounce. If that's true, I'm below average. I've gone an entire day without realizing I had another pair of my underwear in my pant leg. I was looking at a map of the United States, and I know that we were colonized from east to west, right to left, but it looks like it was the other way around. It looks like the founding fathers approached some guy, and they had like an outline of the future country on a piece of paper, and they gave him that and a pen, and said, "Listen, we need you to divide this into 50 sections. Start on the left side." And he was like, "Oh yeah, there is plenty of room." If you don't get that, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. I live in Burbank, California. I have a landline telephone, came with the tiny house that I rent. And I was talking to my neighbor in our front yards. This guy's nosy. Some of us have that neighbor. He very casually threw this into the conversation. He was like, "Hey, Kellen, the other day I picked up part of a conversation from your cordless phone through my baby monitor." Yeah, that's a real thing. I didn't know. I also didn't know how to respond. He's just smiling like a weirdo. So I said, "Actually, I don't have a cordless phone. Oh, but occasionally, I do stand in your baby's room and talk to him." Probably what that was. Anything else? No? Okay. No, I'm not a creep. I have 2 kids. I want to have 3. That's the perfect number, right? You can finally be on the Family Feud. But also with 3 kids, a mom and a dad, that's how many people comfortably fit in a log at Disneyland. Right? You have a 4th child, you have to buy another picture. It's like $30 just for a snapshot of your toddler straddling some Russian couple. I don't want that on my mantle. You ever have this happen where you're at home and your phone's about to die, so you plug it in while you're talking?
Yep.
Just me and her. The rest of you have done it. Just ignore this next joke. I do that. I always forget that the cord is only 11 inches long. So for the next half hour, I end up kneeling next to a dresser. I just want to know who designed that cord. I imagine a couple of scientists in the Verizon laboratory, and one of them's like, hey, why don't we make it long enough so they can sit on the couch? And his supervisor's like, that's ridiculous. If they didn't do it before bedtime, it's their fault. Don't worry, though, making this other cord stretches out to 9 or 10 feet, and they could only use it in their cars. The most selfish thing that a human being can do is leave an empty shopping cart in a parking space. Yeah, if you've done that, shame on you. You're telling me you can meander 2.5 miles inside Costco, and the moment you get to your vehicle, you're like, not another step. Timed out my physical endurance down to this moment. Can't push it 20 feet, help everyone else out. That's why I don't even care. You guys can try this too. Every time I'm inside a grocery store, I take someone else's cart. Do it, full of food, take it. It is so much faster. And you get to try new things. Do it. It's not wrong. Tell me how that's wrong. It's not stealing. What could they possibly even say to you? Excuse me, I gathered that. Just say thanks and they can regather. You know the route. In the healthy grocery stores, I never buy anything from that aisle of barrels. Right? I just don't like how accessible it is to like bare hands. Or the air. Here's what I do, though. I go up to the most expensive granola, and I scoop it into the cheapest one. I'm the Robin Hood of Whole Foods. Oh, he didn't clap long enough for me to take a drink. So what did you guys do for Valentine's Day? Sushi. Sushi? All right, that's cool. Woohoo, food poisoning. What else?
Study.
What's that?
Study.
You studied? It's like the saddest thing you could say. Now no one else is going to answer because they're going to feel bad that they had plans. Anything.
Date with my kids.
A date with your kids?
Celebrate divorce.
Wow. Let's dig into this. She's like, where are the breaks to this joke? Oh, here. Oh. No one could say anything. At this point, I did something happy. I'm sorry. It's just a total, like, genre twist to this whole show. Well, let's discuss this. Celebrate divorce. Notice how no one clapped. It's a great segue into what I had prepared. Usually it's like, went to a restaurant, wrote my wife a song, and then I'm like, oh, and here's what I did. And you're like, no, stop everything. Next holiday. I got robbed last Christmas. Do something with that. The comedy obstacle course. Well, here's what I did. I understand now this isn't going to be for everyone. I think I'll just do the talking from now on. Yeah. The rest of my set is just me talking about it, not even doing jokes. Yeah. Here we go. I ordered my wife one of those edible arrangements fruit bouquets. Is what I'm talking about. It's cool. It's a nice thing. But I want to get in on that business model. Because I paid $70 and I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, oh, that sounds right. It's not right. Their profit margin is probably amazing. It's fruit. What's their overhead? Like, a product should cost as much as the materials plus the skill required to assemble them, right? For $70, I could buy a printer. And that makes sense. I don't know how to make a printer. Fruit bouquet, on the other hand, after quick analysis, pretty easy to reverse engineer that thing. There was maybe, like, collectively half a pineapple cut into heart shapes on sticks for what I gave my wife. $70. My wife loves fruit. Next year, for $70, I'm just gonna give her like 40 pineapples. I want to be rich. I want to be so wealthy so that, like, anytime I wanted, I could just buy all the tickets to a Maroon 5 concert and go by myself. And boo after every song. I would sit front and center, so when they came out, they'd be like, oh, I guess there is a mistake. And I'd be like, no, this is happening. This is a sold-out show, Adam. Hey, stage dive. Let's make this Maroon 4. This is Utah. How many of you guys drove to the border to get lottery tickets when that Powerball went over $1 billion? Anyone here? Yeah, a couple people. I bought a ticket. Never bought a lottery ticket in my life. And it wasn't just me. There were thousands of first-time lottery ticket buyers. It was on the news, right? People were lined up for hours, which is crazy in retrospect, because that means that even when that jackpot was at $975 million, I was like, nah. What even is that after taxes, right? It's crazier than that, though, are the odds to the Powerball. The odds are 1 in 300 million. 1 in 300 million. To paint a picture of that, in the entire Western Hemisphere, from Canada down to Chile, there are 900 million people. That averages out to about 300 million households. So what if this is how the game were played? You walk in to buy your ticket, and there's a man in a suit to explain the game to you. Hey, welcome to the Powerball. Here's how it goes. We've placed $1 billion in a box. Now we've hidden this box in a random bedroom somewhere upon the American continent. Now here's the fun part. You give us $2, you get one shot to guess that address. My favorite game growing up was Battleship. You guys remember that? Loved it until I figured out they could have just called it Number Letter. Because there is no wartime strategy. And it's bingo with toys on it. Can you imagine if that ship battle scenario ever actually happened? A general briefing his men. He's like, all right, listen up. Here's the situation. There are 5 enemy ships out there, exactly like our 5 ships. We have no idea where they are, but we do have good intel that they're not moving. Or diagonal. So when you fire at them, I just guess. I don't know. Well, fire one, stop, let them fire one back. This is a war, we take turns. Oh, and every time after we fire a missile, we need to ask them how it went. Played baseball growing up. Did you know that the dimensions to a baseball field are just whatever? It's completely true. Every Major League Baseball field is different. The infield's always the same, 90 feet to each base. But the outfield fence, they just make it up. This is 100% true. To hit a home run in Fenway Park, Boston Red Sox have got to hit that ball 302 feet. Houston Astros, on the other hand, Minute Maid Park, they have to hit the ball 436 feet. That's a 45% difference. And no one ever talks about it. Like, maybe there's a reason why the Red Sox have been to 13 World Series. And the Astros were swept in one. It's like, hey guys, there's no rule. Move in your fence. Make it easier on yourselves. A 45% difference. Can you imagine if any other sport just decided to start doing that? There'd be an uproar, right? You see that excited NBA coach, hey, great news, guys. We're playing in Chicago this week. The rims there are only 5.5 feet tall. So a Tesla can park itself, which is fancy. However, my Nissan has this feature where it'll beep loudly to let me know if my groceries haven't buckled their seatbelt. And I am so excited for self-driving cars. Anyone else? I am very... Few people, right? Other people are afraid. Don't be. It's going to be great. Don't be scared. Ask yourself this. Have you ever walked into a grocery store and had those doors just like pinch you? Never, right? So imagine that automation technology improved by a factor of 1 million. That's what they're putting on cars. It's going to be okay. You still don't believe me? Would you rather there be like 2 dudes inside every grocery store just manually sliding those doors as your family walks in, right? One of the guys is texting, the other is hi, that's what you want? Because when you're driving, that's what's happening around you constantly. It's usually older people, like much older people, who are skeptical of the idea of having a computer drive their car. Here's what I want to say. If you're like 70, 75 plus, and you're afraid of a computer driving your car, here's what I want you to do. Go to WebMD, where you can list your symptoms. Just go ahead and put in like every part of your body that aches or is immobile. Add the painkillers that maybe you take every day. I think you might find that the computer is skeptical of you driving a car. Last time that my car was dirty, my friend did the obvious thing, scrawled out, "Wash me," on the back window. So I went up to the side of his car with a key and wrote, "Touch me up." I had to renew my license recently. In California, every 10 years or so, you have to make the trip to the DMV and retake the picture, right? I always hate it, right? Then 3 years goes by, and I wish I looked that good. But how about that Costco ID membership picture, right? No amount of time ever goes by that I wish I looked like that Walking Dead version of my face. Costco's a $1 billion industry. They can only afford a camera with like 7 pixels. That the only thing that doesn't come in bulk? Like, they have better cameras they sell in the store. They could just grab one, write it off, and use it forever. But they don't. You know why? No one ever looks at that picture. It doesn't matter. I walk in, I flash in my library card. They don't care. This is a dumb idea in the first place. What, are they afraid someone's gonna sneak in and buy stuff? I was mowing my lawn recently. I noticed every lawnmower has a throttle on it, but the speeds aren't labeled with the words high or low. Does anybody know what it has instead? Turtle and a rabbit. The guy was ready. That was very quick. That guy's been going to comedy shows every weekend for like 10 years. He's like, finally, they asked the lawnmower question. Just walks out. But it's true, there's a turtle and a rabbit, which is insane, because that means that at the lawnmower factory, they're like, yeah, we don't care if they can read. Just as long as they know their fables. I'm disappointed with the lack of originality when it comes to naming high school football teams, especially when it comes to animals. There are 1 trillion species on this planet. Only 9 are used for all sports. I can prove it right now. Go ahead and clap if your high school football team was the Eagles. There's some Eagles here. All right. How about bears? What are bears? Wow. That guy thinks high school mattered. All right. How about lions? Do we have any lions here? There's a couple cowardly lions in the back. How about wildcats? Do we have any of those? Yeah? That's not even a thing. It's a lazy meeting. What are you gonna be? I don't know, some sort of wildcat? Yep, that's it. Sure. Meeting adjourned. I always do like to ask, so anybody here come from a high school that had a unique team name? So nothing that's ever been used in like professional sports, NFL, NBA, baseball. Just go ahead and, yeah, just don't tell it to me, just cheer. What's that? Buckaroos. The Buckaroos? Everyone cheering just sounds like a condescending dad. There you go, Buckaroo. Yeah. Even when you win, it can't feel good. Good job, Buckaroo. What else? What else do we have over here? What's that? The scars?
Dart.
Oh, the darts. She did the darts. Oh, okay, the pointy ones. All right, yeah. I thought you meant the car. That would be weirder. The darts. The darts. Okay, just a second. We're still talking about darts. What city are you from or state? What's that?
Kaysville, Utah.
Kaysville, Utah? Okay. All right. Is that like a thing there? That's number one on TripAdvisor for Kaysville. Dude, they have the best darts in Kaysville. Are you saying that? No, the pointy ones. What else do we have? What's that?
Beet digger.
Beet digger? That come from the cheap seats in the balcony, of course. Shall we earned our way here? Where are you from that you dig beets? What's that? Jordan High School? All right. That's here, right? This is going all over the world, so people aren't gonna know. Just like Jordan, that's just some guy. Jordan likes beets. I don't know. Over here, somebody raised their hand politely. What was yours? The russets? Okay. Some other guy just yelled his out. He's like, that's not interesting. Listen to mine. What's okay? All right, russets are potatoes. Okay. Getting heckled by Wikipedia. Usually when I get heckled, someone's like, get off the stage. But you guys are like, here's some useful information. All right, potatoes. What else? What else do we have? The Cavemen? All right, cool. Where are you from? American Fork. All right. I don't know a thing about that. Cavemen. What else?
Dons.
The Dons?
Spanish fork.
Spanish Fork. I feel like everyone here knows something but me. I don't understand all these utensil cities. The criminals? Are you from Spanish Fork too? I'm just guessing. I'm glad it made sense to you guys. Anyone else not from here? No, maybe. Let's hear a couple of. What's that? Patriots. Cool. You weren't listening to my question. All right. I'm Chicago Fork, right there.
Syrup makers.
The syrup makers? The rest of you quiet down for a second. Are you just trying to help me out? Is that what this is?
I'm from Georgia, so.
You're from Georgia, of course. I love the syrup from Georgia. It's so matter of fact. I thought you were gonna be like, obviously, I'm from Canada. But it's like, no, Georgia. She's like, russets, yeah. I'm from Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Obviously. So the syrup makers?
Yeah, syrup makers.
Okay. What was your mascot? Just like a really bored guy? If I could name a high school team, it'd be the Chameleons. Wouldn't that be great? Every game, you just dress up like the other team. They have acupuncture for pets. I would love to go to a pet acupuncturist with a porcupine. Just for that walk back to the waiting room, like, I don't know what they did to my cat. It's the last time I used a Groupon. My favorite animal is the penguin. I just feel bad for them. Penguins are the reason why I don't completely believe in the theory of evolution. Because evolution says that an animal will either die off or adapt comfortably to its environment. I just don't think they belong in Antarctica. They seem cold. Like, go to the LA Zoo. They don't keep them in a freezer. They're on cement and they're fine. Every other animal in the South Pole has at least 15 inches of blubber or fur to keep it warm. You ever seen a penguin walk? They walk the same way you would if you were wearing cold, wet pants. This is completely true. Every year in Antarctica, penguins walk 80 miles round trip for food, if you believe Morgan Freeman. Here's where evolution gets shady. If these poor animals have been walking 80 miles every year for the past 10 million years, why don't they have knees yet? Their wings haven't worked out for some reason. Can they at least get some bendy legs? You ever see them do that thing where they slide on their bellies into the ocean? They never mean to do that. They just trip and they're like, well, I can't get up. Guess I'll learn how to swim too. I'm a bird. My buddy was telling me about that movie, The Revenant. I haven't seen it. I might. I just didn't agree with his reason for encouraging me to watch the film. He's like, you gotta see it. Leonardo DiCaprio finally won the Oscar for that film, and it's a good thing he won the Oscar because he worked so hard on that movie. And that's where I disagree. My friend said it's a good thing he won that Oscar because he worked so hard on that movie. They shot it for 9 months. In the blistering cold of Canada, he walked through those rivers himself. He lost 35 pounds during those 9 months. Isn't that amazing? And I said, if you think that's amazing, you severely underestimate what I would do for $20 million. Like, there's not a person in this room who wouldn't do everything that he did for that amount of money, right? If he acted well, give him the Oscar for that, but not just because he worked for almost a year. $20 million, he lost 35 pounds? I would get down to 35 pounds. All right, my last few jokes here, they never got what they deserved. And I think it's because comedy's all about timing, and my timing is too good. So I have Siri read them, and it makes them a lot better because she's the worst.
Testing, testing, testing.
Is that good? All right, that was the first one.
It's always a pleasant surprise when you find an unexpected $10 in the jacket pocket of a stranger. This is something I have never heard a wealthy person say. It all started when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The person who said to drink 8 to 10 cups of water a day for your health forgot that it also makes you enter 5 to 7 public restrooms a day. Best Buy is a great place to try out stuff that you can then buy cheaper on Amazon. Maybe flies would live longer than 24 hours if they didn't eat poop. Ever since California voted against stores giving out free plastic bags, I have collected so many shopping baskets from Target. Google is turning 18 years old this year. I cannot believe it was just 19 years ago that I never researched anything ever. It's my greatest fear that the world will be destroyed and the only remaining humans will be me and all those people who use the internet at the library. The secret to looking younger is to tell people you are older. If you want to feel like Superman, take a paintball gun to a laser tag arena.
All right, you guys have been great. I'm going to leave you with this one.
TVs are getting thinner, but people are getting fatter, so everyone is still the same distance from the screen.
Thank you guys very much.